The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? Scared to look at my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Welcome on into a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. If you're in the market for a brand new or slightly used automobile, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your wallet to check out the good folks at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. And the reason I say this, well, I have three reasons actually. Reason number one, they have a great sales department. They're not going to sell you a lemon. They just won't. The great sales department. Reason number two, a great finance department. Who among us wants to pay a ridiculously high interest rate for a new or slightly used automobile? I know I don't, because that's an awful lot of money spread out over 6 or 7 years, depending on how long the loan is. I don't want to pay no ridiculously high interest rate. And the folks at Greenwood Chevrolet, led by Tracy Bryden, Latonia graduate, don't you know, she will make sure that she gets you the best deal possible. And reason number three, they have an unbelievably solid service department, because sooner or later your car is going to need serviced, whether it's an oil change, whether it's tire rotation. Your baby needs to go into the service department to get some fine adjusting done. And they have a great service department over at Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. So before you put pen to paper and sign your life away, or at least 6 to 7 years of your life, depending on how long the loan is, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your bank account to go to Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Give them an opportunity to earn your business. Trust me when I tell you, kids. Trust me when I tell you. You will not be sorry. All right, one thing that we need to talk about as we go right off the top of the bat on this program today. Changes, and David Bowie changes in this weekend's series between the YSU Penguins and UIC. They were to have played a single game on Thursday, a doubleheader on Friday, and a single game on Saturday. Well, in case you have not noticed, and we're 2 days out, so you can trust the weather forecast. I have a problem trusting weather forecasts past 3 days out. Neither here nor there. Thursday, it's supposed to snow in the area. It's supposed to be pretty chilly, and it's supposed to snow, or at least a really good chance of snow. And nobody wants to play baseball in the snow. I mean, let's be honest. Baseball and snow go together like, think of something really ugly. Oil and water, they don't go very well together. Neither does snow and baseball. So they have decided, the Horizon League, Youngstown State, UIC, have all decided, due to the frigid weather and the snow that's impending on Thursday, the Penguins and the Flames will play a doubleheader on Friday beginning at 1 p.m. and a doubleheader on Saturday beginning at 12 noon. Now, here's the interesting part of this. Game one of Friday's doubleheader will be the only game that is 7 innings in length. The rest of the 3 games, game 2 on Friday and both games of Saturday's doubleheader, will be 9 innings. Pretty good chance Colin Floyd pitches on Friday in that 7-inning game 1 of the doubleheader, because he has been known to throw 7 innings, and by doing that, you save your bullpen, and then you can use your bullpen the rest of the 3-game series. We'll get with the skipper, Dan Bertolini, at 2 o'clock. My assumption, and it's only an assumption right now until we get the fact from the skipper of the team, my assumption is Colin Floyd will pitch game 1 because it's the only 7-inning game. Penguins, as we made mention yesterday, thanks to the 3 out of 4 series victory over Wright State, they're now just 3 games out in the loss column. Now, here's the deal. Wright State does not play this weekend. They're off. Much like Youngstown State was not playing league games last weekend, or not last weekend, the weekend before, when St. Bonaventure came to town. Wright State is not playing any league games this weekend. So they're idle league standing-wise. So the Penguins, they're going to need to win. Well, ideally, if you sweep the 4-game series from UIC, they're still 3 back in the loss column, which is huge. The worst thing the Penguins can do is split or lose the series with UIC, because if they were to split, then that deficit goes back to 5 games. And that's not what you want to see. You want to be able to keep it at 3. If you drop a game and go to 4, I don't want to drop a game, but if you take 3 out of 4 from UIC, you're 4 back in the loss column, and that's doable because there's still plenty of season left to be played. Now, YSU doesn't play Wright State anymore, but Youngstown State should be in a really good position to contend for a league championship. At the very least, winning the series against UIC would keep them in the top 4, and that's extremely important because the top 4 teams are going to the tournaments. This is not a tournament for everybody in the league. It's only for the top 4 teams. So Penguins need to take 3 out of 4, bare minimum. Hopefully they will be able to sweep the series, keep the deficit at 3, and just end this homestand on a ridiculous run. The Penguins swept a 3-gamer from St. Bonaventure, took 3 out of 4 from Wright State. They're 6-1 on this homestand. I would love to see the Penguins go 10-1 on this homestand. That would be absolutely fantastic. But like I said, the deficit is 3 in the loss column. Let's keep it that way. And the way to keep it that way is to sweep a 4-gamer against UIC. But again, the big news, changes have been made to this week's schedule. It's no longer single game on Thursday, doubleheader on Friday, single game on Saturday. Because of the crappy weather that's coming into the Mahoning Valley, it's supposed to snow on Thursday. Nothing significant, but snow and baseball don't go well together. So they're going to cancel the game on Thursday, move it to Friday. Game 1 is the only game of the 4-game series, which will be a 7-inning affair. 2 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday. 1 o'clock is the scheduled doubleheader on Friday. 12 noon, the scheduled doubleheader on Saturday. So there you go with the change of the weekend schedule between the Penguins and UIC. Dana Balish tweeting out this morning, the OHSAA has once again went to Division I and Division II All-State. So congratulations. As we go to Division I, just one player from our area made a Division I Girls All-State. Honorable mention, Kamara Bender from Warren Harding. Congratulations to Kamara Bender from Warren Harding. Division I All-State honorable mention. Division II is where we found a quintet of young ladies. First of all, first team, All-Ohio Division II, Jackie Grisdale from Poland. Congratulations to Jackie. Special mention, Kyla Jameson from Salem. Honorable mention goes to Michaela Reed from East Liverpool, Jillian Pigeon from West Branch, and Katie Huff from Cardinal Mooney. So congratulations to those 5 ladies. Very, very nice honor, making the Ohio Division II All-State team. So congratulations to those ladies for a job well done. We will have Miss Basketball. That announcement will be tomorrow, and then next week the OHSAA will release the All-Ohio in boys basketball. And Monday, I would assume, will be Divisions 4 and 3. Tuesday will be Divisions 2 and 1. And Wednesday will be the crowning of Mr. Ohio in boys basketball. So that'll be next week. We'll certainly look forward to seeing that. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. Plenty of baseball, plenty of softball, plenty of tennis, and plenty of other spring sports during the course of yesterday. Want to congratulate Columbiana freshman Mackenzie Gamble. She pitched a no-hitter on Monday. Pitched a no-hitter in softball as Columbiana beat Leetonia 2-0. Gamble pitched 7 innings, struck out 13. 2 runs were allowed, both of which came home from one wild pitch in the first inning. Must have been a hell of a wild pitch to have 2 runners score. My guess is the ball probably skipped out of play, and the runner from third scored, and then with the ball going out of play, the runner from second would score. That would be my only guess. But Columbiana defeated Leetonia yesterday 6-2. Bears actually scored their 2 runs in the top of the first inning, but could not hold the 2-0 lead. Columbiana scored the final 6 runs, beat the Bears 6-2. Walsh Jesuit knocked off Boardman 16-4. Hubbard got a 1-hitter from Isabella O'Brien, who struck out 14. Now, she walked 8, but the Hubbard Eagles knocked off Jefferson 13-2. Also, Paige Ogden pitched a 1-hitter, struck out 7, issued 1 walk in the victory. Girard got a victory over Lakeview. The Indians scored 8 runs in the 8-3 victory. And I'm looking, and Lydia Spalding, who's committed to Penn State University, she pitched a perfect game in Austin Town Fitch's first victory of the season. She was back at it again yesterday, threw a 2-hitter, struck out 10, did not walk anybody. Fitch destroyed Lakeside 11-1. Austin Town Fitch is off to a 2-0 start on the campaign. South Range got a 22-0 5-inning victory over Niles. Reagan Irons pitched a 1-hitter, struck out 6, did not walk anyone. Bree Kohler had 4 hits in the victory for the South Range Raiders. And Cardinal Mooney got a victory over Bloomfield yesterday, 10-0. Alina Francis struck out 13, did not walk anyone, pitched a 1-hitter, lifting Mooney to that shutout victory over Bloomfield. Baseball yesterday, I think it's about time, and this is early on. This is really, really early on, but given the first 2 games of the season, methinks we're going to be talking a whole lot about the Liberty Leopards this spring. Liberty is 2-0 on the campaign, and in 14 innings, they have not allowed a run. They've not allowed a run. Liberty gets a 1-0 victory over JFK. If memory serves me correctly, This is the second consecutive 1-0 victory for Liberty. They got that victory over the weekend over Warren Harding. Dwight Parker struck out 15. Well, Trevor Strohmeyer punched out 4, didn't walk anyone. JFK actually out-hit Liberty 5-2. But Liberty got the victory 1-0. They scored their run in the top of the 6th inning. The Leopards have gone 14 innings this year, and they have yet to allow a run. Keep an eye on Liberty. If they get pitching like that, oh man, that could be fun. South Range getting a victory over Niles 6-0, and without Jake Gehring, who suffered a horrible injury, a Tommy John surgery, so he's out for the year. Brendan Mikos, 16 punch-outs, no walks, a one-hitter. South Range picks up their first victory of the season. They shut out Niles 6-0. Trey Pancake picked up where he left off 2 years ago. A couple of base hits. Pancake is headed to Ohio State on a baseball scholarship, and yeah, he's pretty good. South Range banged out 10 hits in the 6-0 victory over the Niles Red Dragons. Western Reserve evens their record to 1-1 on the campaign with a 4-3 victory over LeBray. They actually had to come from behind. They were down 3-2 going into the bottom of the 5th inning, scored a run in the bottom of the 5th to tie the game, and then scored the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th inning, held serve in the top of the 7th, walked away with a 4-3 victory as they move their record to 1-1. Cardinal Mooney beat Crestview at Scene Park yesterday, 5-3 your final score. Entertaining game. Ethan Shaw winds up getting the victory for Mooney. The Cardinal Mooney Cardinals jumped out to a 3-1 lead. Crestview actually tied the game. Single runs in the 4th and 6th inning, but Mooney scored 2 times in the bottom of the 6th and hung on for dear life as they beat Crestview 5-3. Keep an eye on both of these teams. I think Mooney and Crestview are going to be really, really tough to deal with as the season continues to move along. Columbiana got 14 punch-outs from McElwain. He surrendered 2 walks. Columbiana gets a 4-0 victory over Leetonia. The Clippers had 10 hits. They left a small village on the base paths. Otherwise, this could have been a whole lot uglier. But Columbiana getting a 4-0 victory over Leetonia to open up the 2021 baseball season. Also, Austintown Fitch getting their second win of the year yesterday. They come up with a 9 spot in the top of the 6th inning. They were down 2-0. And check that, 3-0, because Boardman had scored 3 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Spartans were up 3-0 and cruising going into the top of the 6th inning, and Austintown Fitch let loose with a 9 spot, and they beat the Spartans 9-5. Boardman loses for, I think this was their first game of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Fitch is now 2-0 on the campaign. So a lot of good stuff going on in baseball and a lot of good stuff going on in softball as well. Look, we're just extremely happy to have sports, at least spring sports, because last year was tough. Look, last year was brutal. It really was. Not having any sports, it was absolutely brutal. We didn't have baseball, didn't have track, didn't have softball, didn't have any of the spring sports, and it was just absolutely brutal. And so happy to have baseball and softball and all of the spring sports back, and it's been so far so good. And we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that the weather continues to hang on and give us some good weather. Today is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Tomorrow and Thursday, not so much. It's going to be sunny but chilly on Friday. A much, much better day in store on Saturday. I would hope no one will be playing on Sunday, being that it's Easter. Hopefully we will have some decent weather the remainder of the week and get as many games in as humanly possible. And look, I mean, we've been saying this for years. Schedule as many games as you can, knowing that you're probably not going to be able to play all of those games. The maximum amount of games you can play prior to the start of tournaments in baseball and softball, I believe, is 27. So if you can schedule four games a week, and if you're lucky to play 3 of them, okay, you should be in pretty decent shape by the time we get to tournament time. And obviously Saturdays, with nobody in school, Saturday's a great time to schedule a doubleheader if you can. And like I said, this Saturday, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Glorious, glorious weather for Saturday, from what I understand. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline open for business. Going to take a time out. On the other side, some interesting things going on from some people in the past of Cleveland sports. A couple of former, well, one is a former player, the other is a former coach. Both of them had some pretty interesting things to say yesterday. We will get the latest from these two and talk a little bit about that and open up the phone lines and let you talk to me about anything you want to in the world of sports. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. Coming up at 2 o'clock today, Dan Bertolini from the head baseball coach, the manager. I hate the term head baseball coach, unless, if we're talking high school, okay, the head baseball coach. Past high school, you're the manager. I hate the term head coach for baseball. No, I'm old school that way. Give me the term manager. The manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini, will be calling in at 2 o'clock. Boy, lots to crow about with the Penguins, taking 3 out of 4 from Wright State. And again, if you're just joining us, Penguins moved their 4-game series. It is now going to be doubleheaders on Friday and Saturday. It's going to be cold and snowy on Thursday. Nothing's going to stick because it's now officially too warm. The grass and the ground is too warm for anything to stick, thank God. But a doubleheader on Friday. It'll be chilly, but it will be sunny on Friday. Doubleheader on Friday beginning at 1 o'clock. Game 1 will be 7 innings. The rest of the series will be 9 innings. Doubleheader on Saturday, 12 noon will be the start of Game 1 of the doubleheader. And again, the only game that will be 7 innings in length will be Game 1 of the 4-game series. The other 3 games, Game 2 of the doubleheader and the doubleheader on Saturday, all 3 of those games will have 9 innings of baseball. So you can probably expect Colin Floyd to pitch Game 1 of the series. We'll get the official word from Dan Bertolini, the manager of the YSU baseball program, when he calls in on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline at 2 o'clock. All right, we'll take a timeout, take your phone calls. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Back in a bit.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring. And, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. As you notice, my winter coat upstairs here was shed. Decided to get the haircuts real short. I got to be honest. One of the reasons, and I think the biggest reason why I decided to get my haircuts yesterday, I umpired. I was over at Crestview, JV game, Crestview and Cardinal Mooney. I was on the bases, and I kept fiddling with my hat. Now, as everyone knows, this is a pretty large dome. As I have said, and many other people have probably said hallelujah to what I say, I can bankrupt a third world country if anyone tries to give me a fitted hat to fit this head. Just don't forget about it. You can't find a size that's going to fit this dome. Like I said, I can bankrupt a third world country if somebody tries to give me a fitted hat. Just put it to you this way. I wear over size 8. That's how big my head is. So here I am with this umpire's hat, the OHSAA insignia on it. And it doesn't fit because I had all this damn hair. I mean, the hair was pretty long. I mean, it wasn't really, really long, but it was getting there. And I was like, you know what? Because I kept fiddling with it because the hat was moving around. And I'm like, no, I got to make sure that my hair is cut short for baseball so the hat will fit a whole lot better. So that's the big reason why I shed my winter coat, my hair on top of my head, if you will. All right, a couple of former Clevelanders, one a former player and a former coach, got into the news yesterday. And we're going to start first with a coach. I have no idea why the city of Cleveland and the fan base continues to want to lament about the past. Hugh Jackson went on a radio station up in Cleveland. Now, let me preface all of this by saying Hugh Jackson has a book to sell, and this is essentially his book tour moment. He went on a radio station yesterday and basically destroyed the Browns front office ownership and whatnot. Hugh Jackson, again, really disgruntled. I don't understand why Cleveland gives this clown the time of day. I honestly don't care about his excuses because the reality is, dude, every January the 31st is Hugh Jackson Day. 1 win, 31 losses. That's what we celebrate thanks to your stupidity. But Hugh Jackson went on the radio station and said he was never told by either the owner, Jimmy Haslam, or then general manager Sashi Brown that the Browns were going to be doing a complete rebuild, the roster torn down, and quoting Hugh Jackson, there is no doubt I was lied to by ownership and the executive team. They were going to be football plus analytics, but they intentionally made it football versus analytics. They were going to take 2 years and they were going to find a way to use us as an experiment to make sure that they got the data that they needed for it to get better at the expense of whoever, and that's just not right. That's not the way it should be. BS. Absolute BS. Now, look, don't get me wrong. Hugh Jackson was not given a whole lot of talent to work with, and that doesn't fall on him. That falls on the other idiot in this whole story, and that's Sashi Brown. He's a moron. But Hugh Jackson is a moron as well. Both of these guys are out of Cleveland for a reason, and truth be told, I don't even understand why. Who cares if this clown is writing a book about his time in Cleveland? Dude, you're a memory, a bad memory. You're the guy, along with Sashi Brown and Jimmy Haslam and the organization, you're the guy that's the equivalent of waking up, sweating profusely, waking up from a nightmare. That's Hugh Jackson. That's basically the Cleveland Browns under Hugh Jackson, Sashi Brown, and Jimmy Haslam, and the rest of the idiots up there before they finally got it right. And why anyone would give this clown the time of day, I don't care if you're writing a book about Cleveland. Understand something. Understand something. There is 3 versions to a story. No matter what story you get, there is always 3 versions to every story. This person's version, the other person's version, and somewhere in between the two, the truth. So Hugh Jackson is going to basically tell his side of the story, which will be spin cycle, where he's going to try to spin a 336-1. Was that his record? What the hell was his record? Who cares? Yeah, 336-1. He's going to spin 336-1 as, well, this wasn't my fault. Hugh Jackson's the kind of guy that could light something on fire and then turn around and say, well, it wasn't my fault that this happened. He's the only guy I know that would never take responsibility for anything. He's a clown. And why anyone gave this clown an opportunity to speak on the indefensible is beyond me. Go away, young man. Go away. You're a distant memory. You have no business going back to Cleveland, because there is no possible way that you could set any record straight. Okay? You're a clown. Move along. Just move along. And why this radio station brought this clown in to do spin cycle and revisionist history is beyond me, but absolutely absurd. The other former Clevelander, or player in this case, that is making the news is one friend, Cisco Lindor. Don't call me Frankie. I'm not going to, because his name is Francisco. That's his name, and I don't want to Americanize his name. His name is Francisco Lindor. Okay. Everyone and their brother has been saying, well, Francisco Lindor should be a member of the Indians for the rest of his life. This is our franchise player. This is the guy that we want. We want him. Harumph, harumph, harumph. Okay. let me give everyone an idea as to how delusional this clown is. The New York Mets offered Francisco Lindor $325 million over 10 years. That's $32.5 million. To which Francisco Lindor said, nah. Nah. His counteroffer, 12 years, $385 million. Now, in fairness, he would be paid less per year. Instead of $32.5 million, he would actually be paid a little over $32 million. I don't even think it's $32,100,000. I think it's below that. So he would actually get paid less per year, but the contract would be worth $60 million more because the contract is worth 2 more years. If I'm the New York Mets, not only am I saying no, I'm saying hell no. How many times have we seen contracts like this blow up into the faces of ownership? Look, Lindor is, 26. He'll be 27 in November of this year. He'll be 27 years of age. You sign this guy to a 12-year deal, assuming that they tear up the last year of his arbitration. They tear it up and they say, okay, we're going to start the 12-year deal this year, which probably wouldn't happen. It probably wouldn't happen, but let's say it does. Lindor would be 38 years of age and turning 39 in November. Now consider the fact that unless you're, well, I don't want to say this factually, but 9 times out of 10, your numbers start going downhill rapidly once you hit 35 years of age. 9 times out of 10. Sometimes it isn't until the person gets 36 or 37. But 9 times out of 10, around 35 years of age, your plateau, you've already peaked at about 33 and you slowly go downhill, and it gets a little bit quicker once you turn 35. Point of this is, the first 6-7 years of this contract, assuming that Lindor stays healthy, let's say the Mets say, you know what, okay, we'll do this. 12 years, $385 million, here you go. Assuming the Mets do this, and I hope they don't, but assuming that they do this, half of that contract, or a little under half of that contract, is going to be an absolute albatross. And that's assuming that Lindor stays healthy his entire career. And he's pretty much been a workhorse. He's pretty much been able to go 140 plus in full years. This contract, the last 5 years or so, is going to be an absolute albatross around the necks of the organization. How many times have we seen these contracts work for about 5 years, 6 years, and then the remaining years of the contract, it's terrible. Look at Miguel Cabrera. You think the Tigers would be happy to get rid of Miggy's contract? Hell yes, they would. Absolutely they would. You think that the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim would love to be rid of Albert Pujols' long contract? Absolutely. That's been an albatross around their neck for the last 4 years. If Lindor were, say, 25, even then I wouldn't pull the trigger on a 12-year deal. The absolute most that I would give Francisco Lindor is 10 years. And the absolute most that I would give Francisco Lindor, given the fact the kind of player that he is, everything everything equal, $325 million. That's about it. The Mets offer, that's about as good as Lindor should be able to get. Truth be told, and I've said this even when he was a member of the Cleveland Indians, he's not the best shortstop in baseball. He's not the best defensive player in baseball. He's terrible with runners in scoring position, and he disappears in October. I've been saying that for years. But, he turned down $325 million. His counteroffer to the Mets, 12 years, $385 million. And as I said, MVPs get that kind of money. And the last time I checked, Lindor doesn't have an MVP. And he's probably not going to get an MVP. At least not in the near future. But it's the Mets' problem now. Look, I'll say this, and I don't think he will ever be as good offensively, but Jimenez is already as good as or better defensively than Lindor right now. He's already as good as or better than Lindor defensively. Offensively, he'll never be Lindor's. He'll never be on that status because he doesn't hit home runs. But that's the Mets' problem now. I just when the Indians fans sat back and said, "Well, we won Lindor." Now you understand why the Indians had no shot at getting Lindor. There's no way that I would sign this guy to anything more than a 10-year deal. And even at 10 years, the final 2 or 3 years of that contract is going to be an albatross. It is. And that's assuming that Lindor stays as healthy as he is, which, by the way, is a big assumption. I mean, another reason why I would never give someone a long-term contract is you have no idea if this person is going to be healthy year after year after year after year. There's no way I'd give a pitcher more than 5 years. Absolutely not. There's no way I'd give a pitcher more than a 5-year deal. And again, I mean, if Lindor's case is 26 years of age, I'm not giving him any more than a 10-year deal. And 10 years is too much. I'd probably, in a perfect world, 8 years. And that's for someone that's 26. Because at least for 8 years, I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able, assuming he stays healthy, I'm pretty positive that I can get bang for my buck in at least 6 of those 8 years. But the longer the longer the deal is, the more chance that you're going to be wearing that albatross for 2, 3, maybe 4 years. Look, Mets have money because the new owner is coming in, and he didn't own the Mets during the god-awful 2020 season when every single team lost money because he didn't have fans in the stands. I wouldn't sign this guy to a 12-year deal. That's just absurd. That's absolutely absurd. But, again, now that I'm looking at this, I knew that, he was going to want money, but holy smokes. That's a lot of money. And frankly, that's just, no, absolutely not. I'm glad that the Indians walked away from that. And again, obviously Lindor's bat is going to be missed in this lineup, but I still think the Indians are going to be a better team, or at least better than what a lot of people are saying. I'm reading that, was it the over-under on this season? I thought I heard it was 82. And I have said from the get-go, 85 minimum for this team in terms of wins. I think the Indians win 85 games minimum because I don't think the offense is going to be nearly as bad as what people think. Yes, the outfield is pretty pretty crappy. There's no two ways about that. Although Rosario, the other Rosario that we picked up from Minnesota, the Indians picked up, I should say, he's good. Ahmad Rosario, we'll see. We'll see what he does in center field. But, I don't think the Indians are going to be as bad as what some people believe. I think the Indians win 85 games minimum, but we'll see what happens. Opening day is Thursday, and we'll see if there's any games played. Pirates, they're playing their last Grapefruit League game, and then they're going to scoot to Chicago to open the season on Thursday. I believe they're taking on the Cubs on Thursday. I have no idea how cold it is going to be, and I'm looking real quick at the weather forecast for Chicago on Thursday. It's going to be 37 degrees, and when you consider that Wrigley is pretty close to Lake Michigan, that's going to be a little chilly. 37 for a high, but it is going to be sunny. It is going to be sunny in Chicago. 37 degrees the high in Chicago on Thursday. Meanwhile, Detroit is going to have a high of 35. That's where the Indians are going to be playing on Thursday. The Indians are going to be playing the Tigers. 35 degrees the high for Thursday. Now, if they were to determine that that's a little too chilly to play the game and then play the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, have a weekend series, this actually looks pretty good. 50 degrees on Friday, 65 degrees on Saturday, and 67 degrees on Sunday. So if they decided that they wanted to move Thursday's game to Friday and just have 3 straight games, not too shabby. If they play on Thursday, take Friday off, Saturday and Sunday are going to be in the mid upper 60s, so that's pretty nice. 35 degrees for a high, though, on Thursday. I always felt bad for anyone trying to swing a bat in 35-degree weather. Because, when you get jammed, if anyone has swung a wood, whether it be a wooden bat, aluminum bat, doesn't matter. If you get jammed, your hands feel like you've been stung by a bee about 5 or 6 times over. And you get a really ugly, tingly feeling, a nasty, tingly feeling in your hands when you get sawed off or jammed. Now, when you hit the sweet spot of the bat, okay, that's nothing wrong with that. It's probably the best feeling for a baseball player when you hit the ball off the sweet spot of the bat. Great feeling. But when you get jammed on a really cold day like Thursday, oh man, your hands are just going to be a mess, absolute mess. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. We'll take a time out. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. We're back in a bit. Stick around.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
The 2021 Auto Show must go on.
Exclusively at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Save more during the Extra Mile Auto Show with employee pricing for everyone on some of our most popular models. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on the value of your trade. Schedule a test drive today to experience the 2021 lineup for yourself.
Visit GreenwoodAutoShow.com
to see how Greenwood Chevrolet can go the extra mile for you.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Erin Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Andrew DiPaolo from TV21, he's the meteorologist over there. He's saying that anywhere from a general coating to an inch of snow is possible on Thursday through Thursday evening. I was thinking that the ground was a little too warm. Now that we've had some really, really nice days, that the ground would be too warm for any snow to stick. But apparently, I might have to correct myself. A trace of snow to up to an inch of snow is possible on Thursday. And again, because of the snow that is scheduled to happen in the Mahoning Valley, the YSU Penguins 4-game series with UIC in college baseball is going to be switched a bit. It was supposed to be a single game on Thursday, a doubleheader on Friday, and a single game on Saturday. Now they're going to go a doubleheader on Friday beginning at 1 o'clock. Game 1 of the doubleheader will be 7 innings. Game 2 of the doubleheader will be 9 innings. And then another doubleheader on Saturday to close out the series. The festivities get underway opening. The first pitch of the first game is going to be at 12 noon, and it will be 2 9-inning games. I would imagine 20 to 25 minutes between games so the grounds crew can, straighten the infield up, reline the field, and get ready for the nightcap of the doubleheader. And weather-wise, it's supposed to be a whole lot better. Although it will be a little chilly on Friday. It's going to be in the 50s, low 50s if I'm not mistaken, but it'll be in the low 60s on Saturday. So it should be a delightful weekend for college baseball. YSU taking on UIC. As I made mention earlier in the broadcast, the fact that Youngstown State was able to take 3 out of 4 from Wright State, they began this series 5 games back in the loss column. They're now 3 games out in the loss column. Now, Wright State has played 16 league games, where the Penguins have played 12. Right now, the Wright State is 13-3, and the Penguins, I believe, are 6-6. They're 3 out in the loss column. So for the Penguins to remain 3 back in the loss column, because Wright State is off this weekend. Let me rephrase that. They're not playing any league games this weekend. I don't know if Wright State is completely off this weekend. I know that they're not playing any Horizon League games this weekend. Every team in the Horizon League is going to take a weekend off of league play. They'll take a weekend off of league play. The Penguins did that a couple of weekends ago. That was their one and only off weekend. They were not completely off. They played St. Bonaventure. That opened up the home portion of the 2021 YSU baseball schedule at Eastwood Field. And the Penguins swept a 3-game series from St. Bonaventure to open up what we're hoping to be an 11-game homestand. Penguins right now are 5-1. Make that 6-1. I beg your pardon. 6-1 in this 11-game homestand, and we're hoping to get all 4 of those games between the Penguins and UIC. Hence the reason why they moved the Thursday game to Friday. So we'll have back-to-back doubleheaders Friday and Saturday. Game 1 of the series will be a 7-inning affair. Game 2 of the doubleheader on Friday will be a 9-inning affair, and both games on Saturday will be 9 innings as well. And again, if the Penguins were to sweep UIC, then they would remain 3 back in the loss column. Wright State is 13-3. Penguins would then be 10-6. Going into, I believe, Milwaukee is their next opponent. But the Penguins have really played well at Eastwood, and we will hear from the manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini, in about an hour. We'll talk about the fantastic weekend in which the Penguins were able to take 3 out of 4 from Wright State. That was just a fantastic performance by the Penguins. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. Baseball season starts on Thursday. It starts for real. If you're an Indians fan, if you're a Pirates fan, if you're a fan of any team in Major League Baseball, hit me up on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Would love to know where you think your team is going to finish and how many wins you think your team is going to get. I've been saying this from the get-go. I think the Indians win minimum 85 games. I doubt if they win the division. I don't think they win the division. I don't even know if 85 wins gets them into the playoffs. Keep in mind, we don't have expanded playoffs like last year. The universal DH is gone. The expanded playoffs are gone as well. So the National League will continue to have the designated hitter. If you go to a National League ballpark, the National League pitchers will hit. The American League is the designated hitter. If you go to a National League ballpark, your pitchers will be hitting. Again, I don't like the DH. I've never liked the DH. I'm a fan of the traditional game of baseball. Give me the pitcher hitting for a variety of reasons. Now, having said that, I do believe that there could be a compromise here. I do believe there could be a compromise, and the compromise is this. You start the game with a DH, but as soon as your starting pitcher has been taken out of the ball game, the DH is now out, and the pitcher bats in the spot vacated by the DH. By doing that, you have now created American League Baseball, which we have had since, 1973 was the first year of the designated hitter. One of the worst decisions ever made by Major League Baseball, but I digress. You have American League-style baseball as long as the starting pitcher is in the game. Once the starting pitcher is taken out of the game, so is the DH. And then you go into pitcher is hitting in the spot of the DH. Now, truth be told, you're not going to see any pitchers hitting in that spot. I mean, truth be told, let's be honest, when a pitcher is due up, you're going to get a pinch hitter. Now, with this rule, rosters are now at 26 players, so with this rule, conceivably you can go 14 position players, 12 pitchers, or 13 pitchers, 13 position players. You have 9 guys in the lineup at first, so you got 4 guys coming off the bench. So the 4 guys coming off the bench, conceivably, you could have all 4 of these guys pinch hitting during the course of a game because, like I said, if you have the compromise where the DH is in place at the beginning of the game, but once the starting pitcher is taken out of the ball game, we're now playing National League Baseball. Pitcher is batting in the spot vacated by the DH. Now everyone on your bench has a really good opportunity of seeing some time in that particular game. It'll make things interesting. It would definitely make things very interesting, and we would get everyone playing on the same page. One of the things that I've had a problem with the DH, one league has it, one league doesn't have it. Interleague play has been a joke. I've not been a fan of interleague play since the beginning of Major League Baseball when they made the announcement in the late 90s. I wasn't a fan of it. And one of the big reasons why I wasn't a fan of it was, well, wait a second. One league plays by a completely different set of rules than the other league. I never understood why this was the eternal divide between the 2 leagues. The American League said, well, we don't want our pitchers hitting anymore. So and back then you used to have presidents in each league. I believe the late Dr. Bobby Brown, not the singer, Whitney Houston's husband or estranged husband. And I think Bobby Brown's dead now. I don't know. I haven't caught up with him. Dr. Brown was the American League president when I was a kid growing up. And I believe Warren Giles was the National League president back in the day. And I never understood why in the early 70s the American League said, well, we're going to try this as an experiment. And that experiment is now approaching 50 years. And the National League's like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to let our pitchers hit. And again, I prefer the regular brand of baseball. I mean, if you're not going out in the field to play defense, you shouldn't hit. Just saying, you shouldn't hit. Now, I understand the argument, well, the pitchers, they're terrible. Why would you let them hit? Well, again, that's my opinion, it's a better brand of baseball. It is a more strategic brand of baseball. If you were to put this rule together where you get the best of both worlds, and I don't know if Tony Clark is going to think about putting something like this as part of the negotiations. And those negotiations with management's going to be contentious to begin with. But if I were Tony Clark, and I had an opportunity to bend his ear at the All-Star game in Cleveland in, 2019, when the Indians had the All-Star game. I had an opportunity to bend his ear for about 15, 20 minutes, and we talked about a variety of things. I introduced myself, and, I said, look, I think that you guys, have an opportunity to do, and then we started talking about the expanded postseason, daytime postseason games instead of night postseason games, especially in the World Series, where I know everyone and their brother talks about, well, we got to get the most bang for our buck, but as we have said ad nauseum on this show, even when I was on terrestrial radio, one of the reasons why baseball was just football blew right by it. One of the big reasons why that happened was because football does not play the biggest game of the year at a time when kids are in bed on a school night in the Eastern and Central time zone, where 85% of the country live. The National Football League, in their genius, first of all, they've marketed the league far better than Major League Baseball. Secondly, the gambling aspect is far better. It's just you can gamble on football and not feel like you have to have a PhD to gamble on baseball, which is probably another big reason why football has blown past baseball. But I still contend one of the biggest, if not the biggest reason why football has blown past baseball is the fact that football, the Super Bowl, has been played on a Sunday, and it's played in a time period in which everyone can watch this game, especially the kids, knowing that the kids don't have to, they're not going to be in bed asleep while the game is still going on. The game is over. On a 6:30 start, the game is over at 10 o'clock. Little after 10 at the absolute latest in the Eastern time zone. Central time zone, a little after 9 o'clock at the absolute latest. Well, that's not that big of a deal. Kids go to bed a little after 10 o'clock. They wake up on Monday. They go to school. World Series games are starting at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the Eastern time zone, and the game is 3 hours and change because everyone wants to play 3 minutes worth of commercials between each half inning, extending the game. Now all of a sudden this game is over a little after 11 o'clock, close to 11:30. These kids don't get to watch the World Series, and well, you do that for 30 some odd years like Major League Baseball has, and you've lost not only one generation, but working on a second generation of fans who are now young adults who spend money, and guess who's not spending money to go watch baseball games because, well, they really aren't great baseball fans because you didn't get an opportunity to watch the greatest spectacle. You didn't watch all of those games because kids were too busy too busy snoring in the Eastern and Central time zone. So we talked a little bit about that, and I talked about a happy medium with the DH. And honestly, I think that if you did a happy medium with the DH, allowing the game to start with the DH, but once the starting pitcher is out of the ball game, the DH is out as well, and the pitcher bats in the DH's spot. Now you get National League Baseball. You begin the game with American League Baseball, and then once the starter's out of the game, now you go to National League Baseball. Now, here's the other part of this that would be really great. Maybe, just maybe, we would get back to seeing pitchers, starting pitchers, I don't know, pitch 7 or 8 innings instead of shutting it down after 5 or 6 like they've been doing because of the pitch count. Enough of that crap. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. With you till 3 o'clock, at which time we got not running points right now, Power Hour coming up at 3 o'clock. DJ and the boys will take you through the rest of the Tuesday afternoon as we're having ourselves a good old time. A lot of baseball, whole lot of baseball. And softball on the network. And yesterday we had all kinds of stuff going on the network. We had baseball and softball games out the wazoo yesterday. And today is pretty much going to be the same thing. We'll get that schedule out to everyone. I know that I wasn't supposed to umpire today, but apparently I got called last minute, which everyone, the one thing about being an umpire or doing something of this nature, you never know when someone's going to need you last minute. So I'm headed north for an assignment tonight. So hopefully we'll have some decent weather, and hopefully the sun won't be completely down come game time. But we will hopefully have a decent weather for this particular game, and it should be fun. Should be an awful lot of fun. Made mention. Lots of baseball and softball games played yesterday, and it was a beautiful day. Little chilly. I was at Crestview. I was doing some umpiring in the JV game at Crestview. Well, I'll tell you what. That place gets really chilly once the sun starts setting. Man, does that place get chilly. I really never noticed, because I've been to Crestview a handful of times. I was there a number of times when I started umpiring in 2019. In the 2020 season, obviously we didn't have baseball, and I went to a few games at Crestview, and I really never noticed how chilly it gets. My goodness. And maybe it was because yesterday was, I don't even know if we got past 50 degrees yesterday, but it was sunny. It was beautiful in terms of the sunshine, much like today. Now, today it's a lot warmer than it was yesterday, but damn, once we hit, I don't know, 6 o'clock or so, holy smokes, did it start getting chilly in Crestview. Yeah, it was a chilly day. Cardinal Mooney got the victory over Crestview. We had to call the game because of darkness. I think it was in like the 6th inning. We called the game because of darkness, and yeah, that's something that may very well be a theme, at least for the first part of this season. And I was talking with a couple of coaches, and we made mention of this on Friday when we had a couple of baseball coaches calling in, and every Friday we'll get our share of baseball coaches calling in on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. And I made mention of one of the, I think it was the JV coach at Mooney, because we were talking about the rule, which, again, I think this rule is absurd on many counts, but this is a COVID-based rule this year. If you're pitching, you're not allowed to blow into your hand. So on a cold day, you'll see pitchers off the mound, and they'll blow into their hand to get some warmth into their fingers, so they have a much better chance of gripping onto the baseball. Because when it's cold, your fingers are really cold, and if your fingers are cold, you have a really difficult time trying to grip the baseball. And then you don't know where the baseball is going because you can't feel the grip, and it's a mess. It's a mess. But with COVID, unfortunately, and again, these are precautions. I don't agree with them, but they're precautions based upon the fact that COVID is still out there. The pitchers are not allowed to go to their hand to their mouth. You would see, under a normal season, you would see pitchers do that, where they would lick their fingers, and then you wipe the fingers off on your pants now, depending on the conspiracy theory out there. There are some teams in Major League Baseball, I won't name any, that have been known to tell their pitchers to doctor their uniform a bit. We'll just leave it at that. Where the baseball is doctored a little bit, again, we'll leave it at that. But in high school ball, at least this year, a pitcher cannot go to his mouth, whether it's blowing into his mouth or licking his fingers. If a pitcher does, the umpire has to immediately call timeout, throw the baseball out of play, get it sanitized, and give the pitcher another baseball. We are telling our, the coaches and whatnot, hey, look, I know that you know of this rule, but we got to remind everyone, pitchers cannot go to their mouth, whether it's blowing on their mouth or blowing on their hands or licking your fingers. You're not allowed to do that. So I have said, and I think that this will actually work, but I have said on this show, and I expressed my advice to the head baseball coach over at Cardinalone, the JV coach. And I said, Coach, what you probably want to do is invest in those miniature hand warmers. I think everyone has seen those things. They're about this big, this wide, this tall, and they get a lot of I don't want to say gravel. There's a substance in there. It's sealed package, and you maneuver it around, and it stays warm for about 7 or 8 hours. So I had said, look, you probably would need to invest in one of those hand warmers, one or two of those hand warmers, and depending on whether or not your pants have front pockets or back pockets or both, tell your pitcher to put one or two of those in their pockets. So if a pitcher on a cold day needs to warm his fingers up, you simply grab one of those hand warmers and you treat it as you would treat a rosin bag, where you would, maneuver the bag around your, fingers, and voila, you got warm fingers due to this nice little heater, this nice little hand warmer. So I think that's probably the direction that high school baseball and softball teams are going to need to go in order for the pitchers to have a feel of the ball. And again, here in Ohio, it's now that today is not so much. I mean, today it's a beautiful day today, and this is an anomaly in terms of the rest of baseball season because it's 67 degrees in East Palestine. All right, it's 67 degrees in East Palestine, and it is going to be 70 today, 56 and rain tomorrow, and then 32 on Thursday. So kids are going to be pitching and playing in 32-degree weather on Thursday. 59 degrees on Saturday. I don't think anybody's going to play on Friday, and I would hope nobody plays on Sunday, given that it's Easter. Next week, and again, I don't trust weather forecasts past 3 days, but the forecast for next week, low 70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, upper 60s Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday and Friday, mid 60s Saturday and Sunday. It looks like there's going to be rain in the forecast Thursday through Saturday. Like I said, I don't trust weather forecast past 2 or 3 days, but 9 times out of 10, it's pretty cold in the springtime. So one would think, because you're not going to be allowed to lick your fingers or blow on your hand, one would think that those hand warmers are going to make an appearance on a lot of baseball teams. That's the one advice that I would give. Get plenty of hand warmers for your kids, especially for your pitchers, because they're most definitely going to need the hand warmers for sure. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for a business. We'll take a timeout, be back with more. Stick around. More to come on this Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy-efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Save more during the Extra Mile Auto Show with employee pricing for everyone on some of our most popular models. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on the value of your trade. Schedule a test drive today to experience the 2021 lineup for yourself.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Didn't mention this earlier, and it deserves to be mentioned. Yesterday afternoon, the East High Golden Bears opened their 2021 high school baseball season with a 15-9 victory over Sebring. This is the first opening day win for the East High Golden Bears in 43 years. You're going to go all the way back to 1978. I was in 8th grade the last time the East High Golden Bears won its season opener. Again, you go back to 1978. Again, I was in 8th grade at Leetonia. The last time the East High Golden Bears won their opening day game over anybody. Yesterday, they got a 15-9 victory over Sebring. First time in 43 years the East High Golden Bears baseball program won their first baseball game of the season. That little nugget, courtesy of 21 Sports Director Dana Balish. We made mention at the first hour, congratulations going out to the girls that made All-State in Division I and Division II. The area gets just one player in All Ohio Division I. Honorable mention going to Kamara Bender from Warren Harding. Congratulations to her. Division I, honorable mention All-State, Kamara Bender from Warren Harding. Division II, All-State, Jackie Grisdale from Poland made first team Division II All-State. We congratulate her. Special mention going out to Kyla Jamison from Salem. And honorable mention to a trio of players from the area, Michaela Reed from East Liverpool, Jillian Pigeon from West Branch, and Katie Huff from Cardinal Mooney. That was announced this morning. Yesterday it was announced All Ohio Division III and Division IV. D3, Izzy Lamparty from South Range, first team All-State in Division III. Grace Mills from Garrettsville Garfield, who will be in the All-American Conference gray tier next year. The senior from Garrettsville Garfield made second team All-State. Special mention All-State, Emma Gumont from Champion, Krista Perry from Crestview. And on the honorable mention side of things, Jenna Smith from Garrettsville Garfield, Sophia Hook from Brookfield, Alexis Giles from South Range, Jocelyn Fristick from East Palestine, and Grace Whitmer from Columbiana. So congratulations to those athletes getting some recognition yesterday in Division III All-State. Division IV was announced yesterday as well. Congratulations to Molly Howard from McDonald, first team All-State. Second team All-State, Danielle Volatich from Western Reserve. We had some honorable mentions, Emma Whaley from Sebring, Belle Zerzow from Bristol, and Sophia Constantino from McDonald, all representing this area in Division IV All-State. So congratulations to those basketball players in Divisions 1 through 4, making All Ohio from our area, from the YSN family. Congratulations. Miss Basketball will be announced tomorrow. Miss Basketball will be announced tomorrow. Chances are we are not going to have someone local. Chances are we won't get anyone local. Izzy Lamparty, Jackie Grisdale, and Molly Howard were each first teamers, but none of the three won Player of the Year in the state. My guess is one of the Players of the Year in D1, 2, 3, or 4 is going to be named Miss Basketball. That's my guess. One would think. One would think that would be the case. And as it was made mention yesterday, the All-State is kind of a copy and paste kind of an honor. If you make your district team, if your first team All-District, there's a really good chance that you're going to be first or second team All-State. Possibly third team, maybe special mention. And I bring that up because Krista Perry was first team All-District. And she winds up special mention All-State. So, if you are on the first team in your district, you're going to be you're going to be mentioned All-State, whether it's first, second, third team, special mention, honorable mention. You're going to get recognized. If you're second team, third team, All-District, you're probably going to get recognized All-State. Whether it's honorable mention or special mention, you'll probably get recognized All-State. If you're special mention in your district, honorable mention in your district, you're probably not going to make All-State. And again, the reason for that is the fact that there are not a whole lot of members of the media throughout the state that have been able to watch every single team. And one of the reasons why the district is so important, this is voted by the coaches of that district in your division. So you're voted amongst the coaches that have had the opportunity to see all or a high majority of teams in your district. So I think that's, even though it doesn't really make sense theoretically, it's probably a better honor to be on the all-district team than it is the all-state team. Mainly because the all-state team is copy and paste of what you did in all-district. And they'll maneuver some players around and into some different areas. But it's, yes, the honor is incredible for All-State. There's no question about that. It is an absolute honor, but I would argue it's a bigger honor to be all-district because at least the district is voted on by the coaches who have seen all or most of the players and teams, where All-State is, as we've mentioned numerous times, the AP poll is borderline a waste of time simply because there are not a whole lot of journalists that have seen every single team play. Well, it's the same thing with All Ohio. All Ohio is announced by the Ohio Prep Sports Writers Association. How many of these sports writers have seen every single team in the state of Ohio? I would venture to say that number rhymes with hero, which would be 0. I have a hard time believing that there is someone out there that has seen every single high school team in the state of Ohio, which is one of the many, many reasons why I'm not a fan of the polls, because all the polls is just opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. Made mention of this in hour number 1. Liberty's off to a really good start in boys baseball. And I'm going to be real curious to see how Liberty fares the rest of the year. They're going to need to score more runs. They've played 2 games. They have scored a grand total of 2 runs, and they're 2-0. They're 2-0 because Dwight Parker and Trevor Strohmeyer have been ridiculous. Dwight Parker threw a 4-hit shutout, punched out 15 in their victory over Warren Harding on opening day. I believe that was Saturday. Liberty came back yesterday and was out hit by Warren JFK 5-2, but the Leopards won the ball game 1-0. Trevor Strohmeyer allowed 5 hits, struck out 4, didn't walk anyone. Liberty did not commit an error, which tells me that some solid defense behind Strohmeyer. If he only struck out 4, and I'm assuming that we're going to have a he went 4 innings. Okay. 4 innings, 4 punch outs. 12 outs in over 4 innings, so 8 outs, roughly 2 2/3 innings of the 4 were balls that were hit. And Liberty didn't make any errors. So at least yesterday, Liberty had some solid defense. Liberty is going to be an interesting team to watch. Again, they're going to have to score more runs. You can't live off of 1-0 games. You're going to have to be able to score more runs. But if you look at the first 2 games of the year, taking on 2 really good teams coming out of Warren Harding and Warren JFK, Liberty's pitching staff has gone 14 shutout innings. 14 shutout innings the first 2 games of the year, and they're 2-0. That's a great start for Liberty. South Range getting a big performance. Brandon Mikos punched out 16. He didn't walk anyone. South Range is going to be interesting. Jake Gehring is out for the year. He had Tommy John surgery. And it's a horrible break for Jake because, this kid, first of all, he's going to miss his senior year, which is just horrible. Number 2, he is on scholarship to go to Ohio State. You have an injury like that, man. You got rehab to do, and you hope that you get your stuff back, and I'm sure that he will. I'm sure that he's going to be fine, but it's going to be a process. That's tough. I mean, that's a terrible blow to the baseball team because they were relying on Gehring to be the ace. Well, you get Brandon Mikos. Holy smokes, 16 punch-outs, no walks, a 1-hitter. South Range is off and running. They shut out Niles yesterday, 6-0. Trey Pancake, who's also going to Ohio State, 2 hits yesterday for South Range in the victory. Cardinal Mooney getting a win over Crestview 5-3. Ethan Shaw gets the victory in that one. He also banged out 2 hits in the win for Cardinal Mooney. I believe that was their 2nd game of the year. I want to say they're 1-1 on the campaign. I want to say that they lost over the weekend to one of the Cleveland area schools. I might be wrong on that one. Crestview 0-1 in the campaign, if I'm not mistaken. Columbiana gets a shutout over Leetonia. McElwain, 14 punch-outs, 2 walks. The Clippers get a 4-0 victory over Leetonia. Fitch beat Boardman 9-5. Western Reserve a winner. Their first win of the year. They're now 1-1 on the campaign. They knock off LeBray 4-3. And Jackson Milton shuts out Badger 13-0. Prozzi getting the victory. 8 punch-outs, 2 walks in the victory. Softball wise, how about this one? The freshman out of Columbiana, Mackenzie Gamble, she pitches a no-hitter yesterday. Pitched a no-hitter at Firestone. Surrendered two runs in the top of the first inning. Latonia got a couple of kids on, and both of them scored on a wild pitch. And I'm going to assume the runners were at second and third. And I'm going to assume that the ball went out of play. I can't imagine anyone scoring from second base on a wild pitch that doesn't go out of play. I could be wrong on that one. I mean, you'd have to do some serious flying around the bases to score from second base on a wild pitch. Be that as it may, Mackenzie Gamble, just a freshman, 13 punch-outs, 3 walks. Latonia had a 2-0 lead after a half an inning. Columbiana scored 1 in the first, tacked on 2 more in the third inning, and scored their final 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning for a 6-2 victory over Latonia. Your freshman pitches a no-hitter. Yeah. Welcome to high school softball, Mackenzie Gamble. 7 innings, 13 punch-outs, 2 runs scoring on a wild pitch in the first inning. And, oh, by the way, Gamble hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd inning to give Columbiana the 3-2 lead. And she had 3 hits in the ballgame. And this kid's just a freshman. Good Lord. Yikes. On the other side of the spectrum, senior Lydia Spalding from Austintown Fitch, the first time out this year, Spalding pitched a perfect game. So nothing like setting the bar ridiculously high where you're just not going to be able to go any higher because, well, you can't go any higher than a perfect game. I mean, the perfect game is, that's as high as you go. But she pitched a pretty decent game yesterday. 10 strikeouts, no walks, threw a 2-hitter. Fitch getting a victory over Lakeside, 11-1. Fitch is off and running. They're at 2-0 on the campaign. So congratulations to Austintown Fitch getting off to a great start in this 2021 softball season. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. With you till 3 o'clock. Power Hour is coming up at 3 o'clock, and we will get DJ and the fellas on the air. I think DJ was doing a baseball game yesterday, which is the reason why they didn't have Power Hour yesterday. I believe DJ was doing the Louisville game, if I'm not mistaken. So Power Hour is coming up today at 3 o'clock, and DJ and the boys will talk whatever they talk. I don't even know what day. Well, today is Tuesday, but I don't know what the national day is. They normally have they look up on the calendar and talk about the national whatever day today is. I'd like to think it would be Pizza Day, but I think we are already past that. We do have some baseball on the network today. These are games that are going to be on the network. Freeport is going to be playing Mohawk. That is a game that is going to be airing at 4:15 today at the Fitch Complex, the turf field up in Austintown. Boardman will play Fitch. Boardman looking for a split of this 2-gamer. The Falcons beat the Spartans in the first game in Boardman. They'll now go to Austintown for the final game of that series. Cardinal Mooney is going to travel to Canfield to take on the Cardinals. Cardinals versus the Cardinals. That's a 5 o'clock start. Jefferson will venture into Trumbull County as they take on Hubbard this afternoon in a Northeast 8 battle. That is going to start at 5 o'clock. Niles is at South Range. That's the back end of the home and home. Yesterday in Niles, South Range picked up the victory. Niles will travel to South Range today. That's a 5 o'clock start. Also a 5 o'clock start. LeBray is at Ursuline, and Minerva will visit Salem. That game will start at 7 o'clock tonight, and I believe Salem has lights. Well, they have to have lights for the game to start at 7 o'clock. So Minerva will go to Salem to take on the Quakers. Softball action today. Struthers is at Poland. That game starts at 5 o'clock. And Geneva will go to Farmers National Bank Field on the campus of Youngstown State University. That's where Ursuline plays their softball games. And that game will start at 5 o'clock. Those are the games on the network today on ysnlive.com. All right, 330-886-0813. We'll take a timeout, be back with more. It's a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealthadvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we will hear from the manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini. The Mahoning Valley Scrappers will be in action. Opening night at Eastwood Field is coming up on May the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. May the 26th will begin the 2021 Scrappers season. Now, as everyone knows by now, the Scrappers are no longer an affiliate of the Cleveland Indians. The New York Penn League is gone. As is all of the short season A-ball. We now have low A, high A, double A, triple A, and then the major leagues. The Scrappers, along with West Virginia, State College, Frederick, Trenton, and who's the other team? Williamsport. Yeah, how did I forget Williamsport? Those 6 teams are now in the Major League Baseball Draft League. It's going to be a 68-game schedule. Most of the games are going to be played prior to the 2021 Major League Baseball Draft. Major League Baseball Draft is going to be held during the All-Star break, during the Major League Baseball All-Star break in Atlanta, or at least for the time being, it's in Atlanta. We'll see if Major League Baseball moves out of that for some interesting reasons. But that is all coming up. May the 26th is the home opener. The Scrappers will be playing State College Fireworks after the game on May the 26th. That is a 7:05 start, and tickets are on sale for opening day. You can call the Scrappers up. I believe we're looking at, 36 home games, 72 game schedule, 36 home games. I believe we are. I believe they have the prices and everything for the season. Well, we're definitely going to get Jordan Taylor, the general manager of the Scrappers, on before the start of the season. I mean, we'll get him on a few times before the start of the season, because there's an awful lot of stuff to talk about with the Scrappers. And again, the Major League Baseball Draft League, and we've talked about this, the talent level is going to be a whole lot better at Eastwood Field. No disrespect to the New York Penn League, but the talent level is going to be a whole lot better with the Major League Baseball Draft League. Kids that are going to be eligible for the Draft League are draft-eligible kids, and that would consist of seniors in high school, junior college players, and college players that have 3 years of college. Once you commit to college, you are not draft eligible for the first 3 years. You have to be a junior or redshirt sophomore, eligibility-wise, to be eligible for the draft. Now, not everyone is going to take part in this. This is an invitation-only league. Prep Baseball Report is going to be in charge of that. We can tell you that Major League Baseball is going to have their handprints on this league. And MLB Network is also going to have their handprints on this league. We are being told that this is going to be marketed, and normally, no disrespect to Major League Baseball, but normally Major League Baseball and marketing are rarely uttered in the same sentence because, well, Major League Baseball doesn't do much marketing, but we are told that this league is going to be marketed quite well. Ken Griffey Jr., the Hall of Famer, is going to be a one of many recognizable faces that are going to be playing a large role in the draft league. We are still waiting word on who the manager is going to be. All I was told was it is going to be someone that everyone's going to be able to recognize. Everyone's going to know who this person is. Okay, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this. The home opener is Wednesday, May the 26th against State College. Fireworks after the game. Fireworks Friday at Eastwood Field every Friday when the Scrappers are home. Fireworks Friday. Tickets are on sale. You can call the Scrappers up 330-505-0000. That's 330-505-0000. And the beautiful thing about this league is, number one, it's going to give these kids an opportunity to have the wooden bats. You're not swinging aluminum in this league. It's wooden bats. And you're going to get an opportunity to play on a day-in, day-out basis. This is going to essentially get everyone ready for what is going to be a grind. Because if you're drafted or if you're signed to play pro baseball, you're going to be playing every single day. You're going to have a day-in, day-out thing, and it's a grind. It's a bit different from colleges and whatnot. It's different. It's a different thing, and you're playing games every single day. So it's a different kind of a grind, and obviously the idea of inviting players that with a really good season prior to the draft, you can improve your stock tremendously. I don't know if the quote-unquote can't-miss first-round draft picks will take part in this. I suspect they won't, but this is a golden opportunity for players that are looking to improve their draft stock and get an opportunity to play against the best of the best. Yeah, this is going to be a great opportunity, a fantastic opportunity for Major League Baseball as well. And again, with the marketing, hopefully these games are going to have a lot of attendance and a lot of eyes on them, not just at Eastwood Field and all of the other stadiums, but eyes elsewhere. And obviously, Scrappers' home games are going to be heard on ysnlive.com. Yours truly will be doing the games, and I look forward to doing that. The road games are going to be picked up by the broadcaster of the team that's home. Since we're still in COVID, the broadcaster's not following the team on the road. So let's say Mahoning Valley is at Frederick, one of the 6 teams in this league, the Frederick Keys, formerly of the Carolina League, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's say that the Scrappers are venturing to Frederick, Maryland, just outside of Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Well, the Keys broadcaster would be broadcasting the game, not only on their network, but on ysnlive.com as well. So you'll get half of the games called by me. The other half of the games will be called by the home broadcaster, whether it's at State College, Williamsport, West Virginia, Frederick, or Trenton. Those broadcasters will broadcast their home games along with the Scrappers games will be broadcast by yours truly when they're home. So it'll be fun. It'll be an awful lot of fun. All right, we're going to take a time out. On the other side, we will hear from the manager of the YSU baseball program. He's a happy camper, and why not? His team took 3 out of 4 from Wright State. Dan Bertolini joins us next. Stick around. More to come on this Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Bad credit, no problem. I can get you approved for a low-interest loan and maybe even a low-payment lease on a new car at the #1 Chevy dealership in Trumbull County for 3 years in a row. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved or come see me, Tony Page, to get a new vehicle today. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
Baird Brothers remains your source for fine hardwood products. For the time being, we're open for customer pickup only on weekdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 9 a.m. till noon. Place your order online at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers, for the place you love.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
The 4M Company, being an architect and construction manager for over 40 years, has had the opportunity to use many different electrical businesses for our projects. The depth, quality, and knowledge and attention to detail displayed by Dickey Electric makes them stand out above all the rest.
For state-of-the-art expertise and a timeless commitment to our customers, contact Joe Dickey Electric. We are everything electrical.
The 2021 Auto Show must go on.
Exclusively at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Save more during the Extra Mile Auto Show with employee pricing for everyone on some of our most popular models. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on the value of your trade. Schedule a test drive today to experience the 2021 lineup for yourself.
Visit GreenwoodAutoShow.com to see how Greenwood Chevrolet can go the extra mile for you.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. It is Tuesday, or how about Wednesday edition of, or Tuesday edition? Yeah, it's Tuesday, for God's sake. It's Tuesday. It's a little after 2 o'clock. It's time to bring in the happiest man in the YSU baseball program. That would be the skipper, Dan Bertolini. Coach, you got to be a happy camper. Taking 3 out of 4 from Wright State, and the way you were able to take 3 out of 4 has to put a smile on your face.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for our guys, and just excited that we were able to bounce back after going to their place and getting swept to be able to come back out and play great baseball this weekend and show some guts and show some courage and find a way to to win that Sunday game was huge for us.
Now, a lot of folks will look at Colin Floyd shutting down Wright State as the biggest moment for the weekend. I will respectfully disagree. Honest to God, what you guys did on Sunday, down 6 early, and you're able to come back and beat Wright State, that to me was the icing on top of a perfect cake for you guys this weekend. Because that victory on Sunday, you had to have it because you didn't want to split with this team. You wanted to win this series, and by getting that come-from-behind win on Sunday, you gained 2 games in the loss column.
Yeah, we just we obviously Floyd's. I think it just came out. He was the Rising League Pitcher of the Week again, but that was a great start for us and pitched really well. We played a great game. We played great defense in that game. There was a big moment in even Friday's game. We had a large lead. They started coming back. In the 8th inning was a ground ball to the left, and our left fielder threw out a runner at home, Turner Draw, to kind of stop their momentum and secure our two-run lead. That was a big play, kind of a turning point. And then, they got up early on us. I think it was 6-0 early in the game, and we came back and scored a run. I think the whole dugout, our whole team just felt like we were going to win that game, even though we were behind early. Chad Coles came in and really pitched very well in a long relief spot, kept us in the game, and there were some crazy moments there because they were up 6, and then we came back and made it and brought it within 1, and they scored 3, and we're up 4. At that point, it would have been very easy just to kind of lay down there, but we fought back. We put a lot of balls in play, put a lot of pressure on them. They made a couple uncharacteristic errors later in the game, and we're able to just keep fighting back, clawing back, and just shows a lot about the character of our guys and just how much they believe in one another.
Skip, you brought up Coles, and my goodness, he did a great job. You get someone out there to stop the bleeding, and while that's going on, your offense keeps pecking away at that deficit, and before you know it, you're right back into the game. Coles on Sunday turned in what one could argue that might have been the best pitching outside of Floyd your entire weekend.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. I mean, you're going to count on those guys. Chad's been a big contributor for our team for a long time. He's been here for 4 years. He pitches in big moments for us. Got us out of the game there and on Friday, and then was able to come back in on Sunday. And we talk to our guys every weekend. Sundays are where championships are built. If you want to win the Horizon League championship, you have to be able to win games on Sunday. And sometimes they're not always the prettiest, especially when you're playing 4 games in a weekend. They can get sometimes a little funky on Sundays, and you just got to find a way to win. And him being able to keep us in the game like that, and then Gary Cliff coming in and throwing 2 innings for us was big as well.
How fun is it to turn the ball over to the closer of this team with a lead?
Well, he made it. He gave me a couple extra gray hairs. I'll say that. They had some runners on base, and they popped up a bunt in the 9th inning, and we were able to make a play and turn a double play, which was huge. But you just always feel really good when he has the ball. I mean, he's got a lot of experience. I think he's got 4 or 5 saves on the year. Now he's got a win. He's been huge for us. Saved the game on Friday night, and then came back out and got the win on Sunday. So he's definitely a difference maker for us. He's got a lot of confidence, and we have a lot of confidence in our team when he's out there.
The longer this season goes, the more that I'm convinced that there's something really special with this baseball team. You made mention the character of this team, a team that is not going to surrender anything, even if you're down a ton to a really good team like Wright State. This team ain't throwing in the towel until the last out is made, and that's something that is high-quality stuff.
Yeah, I think you saw it last year. When we opening weekend, we trailed a couple times against Houston, and were able to come back and win. Even on Sunday last year, we were down late and scored, I think, 4 in the 9th inning to beat Houston, and that was sort of the start of it, where these guys just believe that we have a great belief in our players and the ability of them to be able to come through. And sometimes it's luck too. You just have to have guys in the right position and be able to, when you're going good, you're able to get, hit with runners in scoring position and guys hit the ball when you need them to. And kind of when we were going bad there for a little bit early in the season, we weren't scoring a lot of runs. It was just, we were in good situations. We just weren't coming through in those situations. So, I think our training, and I think it was a definite eye-opener when we played Wright State at their place. They exposed some things that maybe we weren't doing well enough at the time, and we were able to make those adjustments and kind of change the way we were approaching things. And now I think you've seen much better production out of our offense since that weekend.
YSU manager Dan Bertolini joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. All right, so 3 out of 4 against Wright State, fantastic. You're 3 out in the loss column. Wright State is not playing any league games this weekend, so a golden opportunity for the Penguins to keep the deficit or to keep the loss column deficit at 3. UIC comes to town. It was originally set for a single game on Thursday, doubleheader on Friday, single game on Saturday, but because we're going to get snow on Thursday, and snow and baseball go together like oil and water, we're going to go doubleheader on Friday, doubleheader on Saturday. Game 1 of the doubleheader is 7 innings. The rest of the series will be 9 innings. Is it safe to assume that Colin Floyd pitches the first game, being that it's the 7-inning game?
Yeah, that's the way we were going to go. He was scheduled to pitch that day anyway, and we're going to keep it that way. So we'll go Floyd in the 7-inning game, and then Clark will throw the second game there.
And obviously, everything that you did over the weekend against Wright State, for the Penguins to keep that momentum going, you got to be able to win 3 of 4 and hopefully, knock on wood, sweep UIC. Keep that momentum going, not only to keep you within 3 or 4 games of Wright State, but more importantly, to cap off what has been an unbelievable homestand for you guys. Good Lord, you're 6-1 in this homestand. You've played such great baseball at Eastwood, and that it's not too surprising given the fact that you've played really good baseball at Eastwood the last few years.
Yeah, we're going to take it one game at a time. UIC is a great team, and they have some good pitching, and it's going to be quite a challenge. They've historically been a great program. Got a lot of respect for what they do, what Coach D does over there. And, it's going to be tough. We got to take one game at a time, but it is nice to play games at home. We've played well here, and most of the teams in our conference are turf teams, so you get them on natural surface, and it just, you can see that they're just a little less comfortable. They're a little less aggressive because of the field, and we are a much more comfortable team, playing here, getting a chance to practice here every day and used to the dimensions, knowing where to play. I think a lot of that, and we've got some weird dimensions with the sides here where the ball kind of kicks off the sidewall, and there's not a lot of foul territory down the line. So it's definitely different for teams that haven't played here. And, we take a lot of pride in being at home. We have to, there's a lot of work for our players. I think, being hands-on and, taking the tarp on and off. I think Sunday we took the tarp off, and then it started raining, and we put it back on, and our guys, they had no shirts on. They're pulling the tarp all over the place. And, I think it just builds character, and it makes you appreciate what you have. And we take pride in playing here at Eastwood and protecting our home field.
Hey, if I had a dime for every time I pulled a tarp in the 12 years of the minor leagues, I wouldn't have to work another day the rest of my life. Let me tell you, everybody should have the opportunity to pull a tarp in their life. That is a ridiculously difficult job.
Yeah, it's not fun, and when it's windy and then it's raining and it's cold, you got to put the tarp back on. You got to be here extra early. There's just a lot that goes into it that people probably don't realize. And a lot of the teams in our league don't ever have to deal with it because they're playing on turf. So, but it's definitely a character builder. It's a team building activity, that's for sure.
Let me ask you, and we're speaking with the manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini. It seems like everyone is, at least in college ball and some high school teams as well, are starting to spend some money and get an all-turf facility. I mean, as you've mentioned, most of the teams, if not all of the teams in the Horizon other than YSU, play on the turf. What is your opinion on that? Do you prefer playing baseball the way it's supposed to be played on a dirt infield, grass outfield, or are you a turf guy?
Well, I guess it's tough because there's positives and negatives to both. I think the positives of turf are you can play in most conditions. You don't have to worry about weather as much and trying to schedule because of the turf. Also, practice times are a little bit easier. You don't have to worry about if it rained that day or the grass or whatever. You can just get out there and practice, even in January and February, where a lot of times on grass you're not going to be able to do that. So there's definitely positives there. I mean, I'm a purist. I like the grass surface. I like the natural dirt as an infielder, but I can definitely see both. But it's an adjustment. It's a lot easier to go from playing on dirt to go to a turf facility than it is to play on turf all the time and then go play on a natural surface. So especially for us, it's early. We haven't had a lot of rain. The field's a little bit firm, and the balls we're coming off fast. And you look defensively, they made quite a bit of mistakes this past weekend.
Well, one of the reasons why, and we're gonna talk a little Major League Baseball. One of the reasons why I consider Omar Vizquel to be an even better defensive shortstop than Ozzie is Ozzie Smith spent most of his career playing on artificial turf, where you are 99 times out of 100 going to get a true bounce, where that's not the case with dirt. And one of the reasons why I love dirt compared to the turf is you're challenged more on the infield. You're not going to get that true hop that you normally get on the artificial turf because, hey, a ball might strike the pebble the wrong way. A ball might hit a surface where it gives you a really bad hop. It's challenging to play on dirt, and that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want games to be decided on bad hops. You want everyone to have an equal opportunity to make plays. So you don't want something to happen where the ball would take a bad hop because of the surface. But baseball is meant to be played on dirt and grass, and I think it's, at least for us, it's an advantage to be one of the only teams to have it.
Dan Bertolini joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. All right, so this is a 6-team league, and from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Skip, only the top 4 get to go to the postseason. So this series against UIC, because Milwaukee, Youngstown, Chicago, UIC, one of the other teams, all really tightly bunched up together, this is a huge series to determine some separation and try to get that 2 seed and actually stay within striking distance of Wright State.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a unique year. It's actually, there's 7 teams and only 4 make the playoffs, and it's an unbalanced schedule this year. So, I don't think UIC plays Wright State again this year. So it's definitely different in that regard. We drew the short end of the stick and played probably one of the best teams in the Horizon League twice in the first 3 weeks. But a lot of the other teams, they've only played one other Horizon League team as well. So, there's just so much baseball left to be played. We just got to focus on, playing really good at home. Anytime you're at home, you feel like you should win a series, and that's what our main focus is. So there's just a lot of uncertainty, especially early on. It's kind of jumbled up. Everyone's about, I think, Milwaukee's 7-5, and then there's about 3 teams that are 6-6, and the bottom 2 teams have 2 or 4 wins. So you just never know. In this league, anybody can beat anybody, and you gotta be focused and play good baseball every weekend because everyone's so important. You don't have any midweeks to get back on track. You have to play good baseball on the weekends.
Talk a little bit about UIC. What do they bring to the table that makes them so impressive, Skip?
Well, they have some good starting pitching. I mean, Jacob Key was a Horizon League Pitcher of the Year in the past. He's going to be upper 80s to low 90s with a sinker and a good slider. They got a couple new guys in their rotation. Christian Lopez is a guy. He's got a firm fastball, probably up to 92, 93 with a good break, good slider, fastball slider guy. They haven't fielded the ball as well as in the past. Usually they're one of the best fielding teams in the Horizon League, and it looks like they've kind of kicked it around a little bit more than normal this year for whatever reason. Don't have a ton of power. I think they only have 7 home runs on the year. So, they're going to be a team that's going to kind of do some hitting and running, kind of move the ball around a little bit. They have some tough outs. They've got some experience. They got a couple new guys. But, they've had a lot of players we're familiar with. Norton and Figueroa, their catcher's a really good player. Lynn Pystra, their shortstop's been an all-conference type player for a couple years. So they got some experience. They struggled offensively early. They seemed to get back on track last weekend. They had a really good weekend against Oakland and swung the bats well. So they're going to bit. They played a kind of a very low-scoring series against Milwaukee. I think they kind of went back and looked at some things that they were doing and made some adjustments and looked like they came out and had a good weekend this weekend offensively. So, but every weekend sort of like opening weekend, just because you don't play during the midweek. So, a lot of things can change. You get a little bit more preparation. We'll be able to prepare for their starters a little bit better, prepare for what they're going to do, but they're going to be, it'll be, every game will be a dogfight. I guarantee it. We've had some success here against them in the past. I think, in 2018 we swept them here, and in 2019 we won 2 out of 3. So, we've had a history of playing really well against them here at Eastwood.
Let's talk a little bit before we let you go, and we're speaking with the manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini. I know you got to get going because you got some practice coming up, but we've made mention of this. There's no midweek games. I mean, you're essentially playing conference games on the weekend. This is COVID related. Give everyone an idea of the difference between a normal baseball season where you would have midweek non-conference opponents to what we're doing right now with strictly weekend conference games.
Well, I think the biggest difference is for our relief pitchers. I think that's probably the toughest. That's been the toughest go for some of those guys, and not the guys that throw every day, like our upperclassmen, Gary Clift and Chad Coles and Joel Haig, Dalton. Those guys get a lot of action. It's some of the guys that don't pitch as much. That might be the spot relievers, the situational lefties, the guys that maybe throw a little bit in long relief if you have a lead or you're down a little bit. Those guys, they don't get the midweek tune-up where they can, some of our younger guys that are getting some experience, every pitch that they throw in the game is so meaningful because it's a conference game. When you're playing, Ohio University or Kent State or whoever during midweek, you're facing most teams, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers, and you're facing some relievers that are getting some work in. You get an opportunity for your guys to be able to get those relief opportunities, build some confidence for the weekend. And it's tough. You might go whole, for some guys that didn't, that might pitch this weekend, didn't throw at all last weekend. So you might go, 2 weeks without throwing in an actual game. You can simulate as best you can in your inter squads, but it's just not the same as playing against another team. And, we've seen that help a lot of players for developmental purposes. With, John Snyder was the guy that was our midweek starter that, built a lot of confidence, got a lot of experience, pitched against some big teams, against Pitt and Ohio State and Kent State, got his feet wet in some of those good environments, and then was able to help now as one of our best guys on the weekend. So from that standpoint, it's definitely difficult. I think from the hitters, it hasn't really affected them much. We do a lot of simulation with the pitching machines, and we're still facing our guys midweek. A lot of times it helps just to rest. Sometimes our guys get banged up on the weekend, and they're not having to, go out and play on Tuesday or Wednesday to get to play. They could rest up and focus on some things that they maybe didn't do as well during the week. But it's definitely affected our relief pitchers.
Well, hopefully sanity rules the day in 2022 when we get back to a normal schedule where we have baseball in midweek. But I'm just glad we're playing baseball this year, and the way YSU is playing, I'm really happy with the process to this point.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that got overlooked from last weekend was probably Friday night. I mean, we faced the number one starter who's, Jake Schran's a projected, top 5-round pick. He's been pretty much lights out the entire season, and our guys did a fantastic job against them, knocked them out early. I think we scored 5 runs on them, hit a couple home runs. We had a great approach. We were focused. We were locked in, and that kind of set the tone for the whole weekend. At that point, they were kind of looking around like, what the heck's going on? And I think it got them on their heels. That was definitely a big moment. It got them on their heels and kind of changed the whole momentum of the weekend. So it's important. Those Friday games are important to come out and have a good weekend, and we're excited to get another opportunity to play at home. I know it's going to be a little chilly on Friday, but Saturday looks like a beautiful day. We've had some great crowds out here, so appreciate any of the support we can get from the community. They've done a great job so far, and looking forward to another great weekend here at Eastwood.
Yeah, I was going to say the crowd last weekend against Wright State, they were rowdy.
Yeah, it was a good one. I mean, on the Saturday, it was a beautiful day, and we had a great crowd. They were into the game. It was fun, and then both Friday and Sunday, it was good. We threw that guy out of the plate. If you watch the film online, and the crowd was really into it. It was fun.
All right, Dan, before we let you go, I know you're a big Indians fan. I have said, because we're, 2 days away from opening day, Indians open up the season in Detroit, mid-30s. The schedule maker deserves to get slapped around, but it's neither here nor there. I have said 85 victories minimum for the Indians this year.
Oh, boy. I think, I mean, they have good starting pitching. They got some young guys that can play. Terry Francona is a great manager. They'll be good. They'll be good. I don't know. I could see it two ways. Either they play really well and surprise people, or they're like the Cavs and kind of fizzle out towards the second half of the year. But I don't know. They might make some moves during the year. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just excited to watch professional baseball and get a chance to watch Indians play. But I don't know. I guess I'm not counting on too much there.
With actual people in the stands, that'll be nice instead of cardboard cutouts. That'll be nice to have actual people in the stands. Dan, congratulations again on the tremendous baseball this past weekend, and let's have more of the same this weekend against a really good UIC program.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on, and look forward to a great weekend.
You got it, Skip. All right, there he is, the manager of the YSU baseball team, Dan Bertolini. Tell you what, man. 7 teams in the league, top 4 go to the playoffs. And like I said, 2 through 5 is bunched in tight, like a bunch of sardines. It's a shoehorn type of situation. I think Milwaukee's 7-5, 3 teams 6-6. I mean, one of those 4 teams is not playing in the postseason. And now I don't want to discount the bottom 2 teams in the league. They have some ground to make up. I think that the one of them is 2-10. The other one has 3 or 4 wins. They have some work to do, but only the top 4 make the postseason. So for Youngstown State, yes, that taking 3 out of 4 from Wright State was phenomenal. But I'm going to tell you right now, you got to keep this momentum going. And right now, the Penguins are 3 out in the loss column. And Wright State's not playing this weekend. At least they're not playing any league games this weekend. So if Youngstown State doesn't lose this weekend, they're still 3 out in the loss column. If they were to lose 1, they're now 4 out in the loss column. If they split with UIC, Penguins are back where they started prior to Wright State coming to town, and that's 5 out in the loss column. So it's important for the Penguins to get 3 out of 4. Perfect world, sweep the series. And like we said, this was supposed to be a single game on Thursday, doubleheader on Friday, single game on Saturday. But because we're supposed to get snow, anywhere from a coating to an inch, they've postponed the game on Thursday, moved it to Friday. So you're going to have a doubleheader on Friday, beginning at 1 o'clock. You'll hear both games on ysnlive.com, don't you know? And then on Saturday, doubleheader. So back-to-back doubleheaders Game 1 will be the only one of the 4 games in which the innings are going to be affected. Game 1 is a 7-inning game. Excuse me. The nightcap, 9 innings, and both games on Saturday will be 9 innings as well. So YSU and UIC, doubleheader on Friday beginning at 1 o'clock, doubleheader on Saturday beginning at 12 noon. All 4 games will be heard right here on ysnlive.com with Richie Giuliano. We'll take a timeout, be back with more. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air,
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Save more during the Extra Mile Auto Show with employee pricing for everyone on some of our most popular models. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on the value of your trade. Schedule a test drive today to experience the 2021 lineup for yourself.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business, 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Pirates are in action, and the game should be close to being over. They are in Fort Myers. This is the final game of spring training. They are playing Minnesota at Fort Myers, and then the Pirates will take their 26-man roster and fly up to Chicago, where they will open up the season against the Chicago Cubs. They'll play a 3-gamer beginning on Thursday. Everyone's in action on Thursday. Opening day is Thursday. Everyone is in action. Friday is an off day, and then Saturday and Sunday they'll conclude the series. And from what I understand, it's going to be a really cold day on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday will be considerably warmer. It's actually going to be in the mid upper 60s on Saturday and Sunday in both Chicago and Detroit. So the Indians are going to be in Detroit, and it's going to be in the high 30s, mid-high 30s for a high on Thursday, which is just absolutely brutal. That's not baseball weather. And I feel bad. I've always feel bad for anyone that has to bat in that type of weather, because that's just one of those things where you put a foul ball or a ball where you're jammed in 30-some-odd degree weather. It doesn't matter whether you're swinging a wooden bat or an aluminum bat. It's going to feel like you've been stung by a bee about 10 or 15 times on your hands. All right, let's go to Vince real quick. Vince, you're on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. What's up, brother?
It's always a pleasure, Ronnie, to talk to you.
Yeah, same here. What's going on?
We got a horse in the 6th race at our local track, the 2-horse.
The 2-horse today.
Thursday Frost.
Yes.
He was early line or morning line. I think he was 3-1 or 4-1.
7-5.
7-5 now.
7-5 on the morning line.
That's why we have you in that position, Ronnie, to give out the good scoop.
Yeah. Thursday Frost. Kaiser is the jockey at 124 pounds. That's fat for a jockey, by the way.
Yes. Usually they're about 118, 115 in that area.
Yeah, you're not going to see me riding a horse as a jockey anytime soon.
No.
Because the horse will look at me and say, I could probably be a Triple Crown winner if this fat ass weren't on me. So,
if you got up there, you could go, oh.
Yeah.
He would go, oh, who the heck's on me?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyhow, that's the one we're going with today. Even though it's not my track day, but a buddy of mine, it's his brother's horse that's running, and he said, give it a shot. I said, okay, I'll pass it on to Ronnie, because we all know that you, of all people running, need some luck in your life.
Yeah, no kidding. Thursday Frost, race number 6, the 2-horse at our horse
Local
racing
race.
track. By the way, to let everyone know, yesterday was the mandatory payout on the Pick 6, and it turned into a multi-million-dollar payout.
The biggest in the track's history at our local track here. Over $1 million was for the lucky. I think what was it, Ronnie? 32 people or 132 people? I forgot, but each one of them got like 7,000.
Yeah, I thought the final number was 2.1 or 2.2 million.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, wow, it did go over 2 million.
That's crazy.
We got knocked out in the 5th race, but we did have 5 out of 6, but that doesn't compare to the hundreds of people that had 6 out of 6.
Yeah, exactly. You very quickly in these things, because Gulfstream on Saturday had a mandatory payout, and the mandatory payout on Saturday at Gulfstream was over $8 million.
The Rainbow 6.
Yeah, and you know damn well that you're going to have to get 6 out of 6 because someone is going to come up with the idea of, well, I'm going to go all and spend $10,000 and wind up winning whatever amount of money they can put their hands on.
Yep. Yesterday, our group of 6 guys, we put in. We didn't go all, but it cost us $8 a guy. And we had, in majority of the races, we had 3 horses. In the race that we got knocked out, we had 2 horses in the race, and we still got knocked out. I mean, when you lose one, you lose them all.
Yeah,
and a thing like that, you got to hope that you get lucky a little bit, and some long shot comes in and knocks a lot of horses out, a lot of people out, rather.
Now, let me ask, was there a long shot involved yesterday?
Yes. I think in race 5 it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Like a 22-1 shot.
There you go.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want to happen.
Yeah, you always
unless you have that horse.
Yeah. You always want to bet one of the favorites and bet one of the long shots if you're going 2 horses, just to have your backside taken care of, just in case a long shot decides to crash the party.
Yes. And Ronnie, I seen today in the paper that another Missouri Valley team is canceled out this weekend. They're not going to play football.
Well, yeah, North Dakota had their game canceled against Youngstown State because a player tested positive. Well, apparently this is now positive test results, so it's plural now, and North Dakota has to cancel another game. This time Missouri State. So this is not going to be made up, unfortunately, because Missouri State and UND does not share an opening weekend either next week or the 17th. So this particular game is not going to be made up, unfortunately.
Either one of those teams, I'm not familiar with the standing. They don't have a shot to go to the playoffs, do they?
Well, North Dakota and Missouri State are in a 4-way tie for first place in the league. Now, Missouri State has 4 losses, 3 of them coming in the fall. North Dakota has 1 loss on the season. So North Dakota does have they have a chance. Now, they're coming to Stambaugh on the 17th. That's going to be the final game of the regular season. They're going to come to Stambaugh to play Youngstown State. And YSU could very well play spoiler and knock them out of the playoffs if they get a victory.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
As a man once said.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens and everything. I heard it's going to be gloves and earmuff weather for the tribe in Detroit.
Yeah, it's going to be colder than a well digger's ass on Thursday. It's going to be a little chilly, but the good news is Saturday and Sunday their expected high is in the mid and upper 60s. So if you get past Thursday, and you'll start playing some much better much better brand of baseball and a much better environment conducive to baseball.
I was going to attempt to wear the shorts today, and I went out and I felt that wind. I said, "Nah, go put your long pants on."
There you go.
It's a little bit too chilly for me.
It's
you younger guys might be able to pull that off.
I yesterday, I made the mistake of going out in shorts, and that was a mistake that I don't ever want to do again. That was tough. I quickly changed into a more of a warm. Are you there,
Hello?
Vince?
Yeah.
All right.
The gremlins must have got us.
There you go. All right. So, who do you like tonight in the Elite Eight? You got Gonzaga and USC, UCLA and Michigan. Who do you like tonight?
Well, I heard the former bag one of the morning radio say that Gonzaga has plummeted everybody by double digits except for one team. They won by double digits going out. And
yes.
So has the Michigan Wolverines. I would go, not towards the end, I would go chalk for tonight if I was betting. But knock on wood. You hear that, Ronnie?
Yes.
I haven't laid a nickel down on the basketball games. My last bet was the Super Bowl.
There you go.
And we all know how that turned out.
It didn't turn out. Didn't turn out well for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Is what it is. All right,
That's
Vince.
what it is. All right, Ronnie. Good luck to you. Good luck to all the fans out there.
Always a pleasure, sir. There he is, Mr. Football, joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. He likes chalk. That would be Gonzaga. I believe they're 8.5-point favorite tonight against USC. By the way, Pac-12 brought 3 teams into the Elite Eight. Oregon State put up a hell of a fight against Houston. That was a great game. And they made things a little uncomfortable for Houston in the second half, but the Cougars get back into the Final Four with the victory over Oregon State. And then in the nightcap, Arkansas season came to an end. Baylor was able to dispatch of Arkansas by 9 points in the nightcap. And the other two Pac-12 teams in action, USC's playing Gonzaga, UCLA is playing Michigan. There's an interesting little thing here. If the unthinkable were to happen, and the two underdogs, and I think USC is an 8.5-point dog, UCLA is a 6.5-point dog to Michigan. If USC and UCLA were to win tonight, which is probably not going to happen, but if it were to happen, you would have a very interesting Final Four. In the first game in the Final Four, Houston would be playing Baylor, 2 teams out of the great state of Texas. And in the second game, 2 Southern California teams out of the city of Los Angeles, USC and UCLA would be facing off. So you would have a national semifinal between 2 teams from Texas in the first game and 2 teams from California in the second game, and you would have a national championship, 1 team from Texas, 1 team from California. I don't think that that's happened. I've been trying to rack my brains trying to figure out if we've ever had a Final Four where you've had 2 teams from one state and 2 teams from another state. And for the life of me, I don't think that that's ever happened. Not to say that it will happen, because unfortunately, I don't think anybody's going to get past Gonzaga. That's not the way they've been playing. Now, having said that, Gonzaga has only been to 1 Final Four in the history of their program. They have only been to 1 Final Four. Do they get the job done tonight? I'll tell you what, USC is playing some damn good basketball. This will be an interesting game. UCLA has been an absolute Cinderella story from the get-go, knocking off Michigan State in the play-in game and then going through their tournament and what they've been able to accomplish. They beat Alabama on Sunday in overtime. They get Michigan, who's holding the banner for the Big Ten. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's chances are you're probably looking at Gonzaga and Michigan going to the Final Four, which would mean 3 number 1s and a number 2 in the Final Four, which at the end of the day, it's boring as hell. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but that should be it should be entertaining tonight as USC will play Gonzaga first, and then UCLA will play Michigan in the final game of the night. All right, we'll take a timeout and be back to wrap this bad boy up. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Points, presented, of course, by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealthadvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Coming up tomorrow on the program, we'll speak with Brian Tolnar, as we do every Wednesday during golf season, as we are 1 week closer to the Masters. I believe the PGA Tour is in Houston this weekend for the Houston Open before the Masters. And the Who's Who list will be partaking in this event on the PGA Tour, because this is the nice warm-up to the Masters. And, of course, the Masters is an invite. Jason Kokrak will be in Augusta, as he was able to go this year based on a win that he had late in the 2020 campaign. So Kokrak is going to the Masters for a second consecutive year. Last year, where he, I don't even think he made the cut. But that's next weekend. This weekend, the PGA Tour is in Houston for the Houston Open. By the way, the North Course at Mill Creek is open, and I'm sure that there's a lot of golfers out there right now taking advantage of this gorgeous day. Not so much tomorrow and Thursday, unfortunately, but today, absolutely gorgeous. There'll be plenty of baseball on the network. You can go to ysnlive.com and partake in some baseball today. Power Hour is coming up next. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everyone. We're back tomorrow, Anthony Hartwig and myself, for a Wednesday edition of Running Points on ysnlive.com.